All right, so we're now on the page called Government, and we're going to follow step by step to get this particular section done. One of the first things before we get started is for you to open up your section on the Britannica website about your country. So when you initially open it up, it looks something like this. It kind of looks similar to a Wikipedia page with lots of descriptions. And you want to go down here to where it says government, because this is what we're going to use to answer your particular questions about your country. So whatever country you have, search it up here. Once you have the document, go to the Government Society section. So let's look at the tutorial here. It says each individual question requires one sentence. Please use the Britannica site to answer these questions. Type in the center, the government of blank. So let's do this to start. Go right in the middle here. Make sure it's right in the center. We want to use title settings, and we want to write the government of Mexico or Malaysia or Japan, whatever it is. Okay? All right, next step. It says, okay, using the font size title in the center, type the word branches. Okay, so we'll come down here again, go to the center. Okay, title, branches. Okay, and then we go back to the checklist. Okay, and then answer the question. Okay, so let's just copy and paste these questions, and we'll just put them on our screen just so we have them fresh for ourselves, so we can answer. Okay, so how many branches of government are in your country? What are they called? So let's go look at our document. Mexico is a federal republic, yada, yada, yada. Powers are divided between executive, legislative, and judicial branches, okay? All right, so we will go ahead and come back to our site. We'll say the country of Mexico, and just so we're clear, we're going to change this font size in a second. Country of Mexico has 3 main branches of government. The branches are called the legislative, and I'm just going to capitalize them here, executive, and judicial. Okay, just put a period at the end. Now let's change this font size, and we want to go to subheading. Okay, so then we have the first section here. Let's make sure we're following along. Okay, next questions. Political parties. So let's go back here. We'll double click again. Go to title, go to center, type in political parties. Okay, hit enter. Let's pre-change the text to subheading, and then let's go back here and copy and paste the questions in. Okay. So, what are the major political parties in your country? Include their names and what their names mean. So let's find political parties here. Political process. Okay. It revolves around a limited number of large political parties, while its fringes are small. The most powerful political in the party of the century is the Institutional Revolutionary Party. So that's one of them. Or the PRI. During this period, PRI never lost a presidential election. Often there were allegations of vote rigging, which means they rigged the election, typically the sitting president, etc., etc. In 2011, the PRI was defeated by the National Action Party. Okay. And then we have another one down here. So there's the PAN, the PRI, and then the left-wing PRD among the lesser parties. And we'll skip the lesser parties here because they have less of an influence, so we need to just list these. So the PRI, the PAN, and the PRD. Okay. So the 3 main political parties are the PRI, the PAN, and the PRD. PRI stands for, let's see what that stands for. The PRI stands for Partido. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste this because that'll keep things a little simpler here. And you can feel free to copy and paste in the same way. Now, what I do, and I'm not sure how this works in your Chromebook, but sometimes when you paste it in, it can come in as a different font like this. You see how that looks different? So I'm going to undo that. If you press Control Shift V, it will paste it in as the same font. So let's try this again. So I come in here. The next one that I needed to do is the PRI, Partido de Acción Popular. So we'll just come back in here, and then the PR, or the, the PAN. The PAN stands for, and then that Control Shift V, Partido. And then the last one is the PRD. So we'll just copy that. And the PRD stands for, there we go. Okay. So now we've answered the second question about the main political parties. Now we're going to double click and repeat the process here. So hopefully this is starting to make sense. Okay. This is the last one we'll do. This one is education. Okay, so we need to scroll down and find education. Housing, there we go, education. All right, so let's just type in the name, education here, hit the enter. Remember to change our font size to subheading. And then we're going to come back here and copy and paste the questions about education. Right, Control C, Control V. Okay, so how long are kids required to go to school? So let's look on here and see if we can see. School attendance is required for kids ages 6 to 18. All right, so we can just kind of paraphrase that, put it in our own words. Kids are required to go to school from age 6 to 18. Okay. All right, next. What is the literacy rate for your country? Literacy rate is how many people can read. Okay, so by the turn of the 21st century, it was estimated about 9/10. So that's 90%. And so 9/10, it means 90%. In Mexico, it is estimated, I need to spell that right, that 9 out of 10 people are able to read. Okay, so we'll delete the questions here. And then boom, we're slowly working through. Now one brief note, you do want to add a picture here at the top just to give it something to make it a little bit easier on the eyes. Mexican, capital of Mexico. Since we're talking about it, let's just put a picture of the Capitol building. Makes it nice. Let's see. The government of Mexico. That isn't that beautiful. Okay. And so then you'll have the different aspects of the government below. So there are two more. The last two are healthcare and security. Just following this exact same process, go through and fill it in. Add your picture here nice at the top right below it. That will make it for a nice visual. And keep these descriptions pretty short and sweet. And that's how you can work through the government section.